Okay, because this was a dating site. This was a dating. I'm just trying to understand. So this was a dating site. In other words,
No, ma'am.
when you say you needed to, it's none of her business whether you're married or not, unless you guys were, you know, you were trying to get to know each other in a relationship.
This is the plaintiff, Antoinette. She says her ex-girlfriend stole money out of her daughter's Zelle account, and she can't believe she has to sue her in court now to get it back. She's here seeking the $5,000 she says she's owed. This is the defendant, LaToya Sparks. She says the plaintiff showered her with things during their relationship, and now that they've split up, she's bitter and is trying to sue her for money she's not owed. She's accused of taking advantage of an ex.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Milian is now presiding. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ms. Antoinette, how did you and Ms. Sparks meet?
We met on a Facebook group.
Okay. And how long had you known her? When did you meet her?
Late July, early August.
Of 2020?
Yes.
All right, and what happened?
So basically, we met in a group. I posted something that she commented on. From there, she came into my inbox and me and her started up a conversation. From the conversation, we went to texting each other. And along the way, I'm currently married. I have a husband, so I'm currently married. I told her that when we first initially started talking, because I didn't want her to, basically talk to me without knowing my circumstances. So I told her the truth, so it wouldn't hurt her in the long run, so she can have the opportunity to walk away.
Okay, because this was a dating site? This was a dating, I'm just trying to understand. So this was a dating site. In other words,
No, ma'am.
when you say you needed to, it's none of her business whether you're married or not, unless you guys were, you were trying to get to know each other in a relationship type thing. Is that what you're saying? Okay, so go ahead. So you tell her because you want to be truthful, and then what happens?
She basically understood my situation with my husband. We're currently going through a divorce or separation, so she knew that. I didn't want to drag her along this, and it airs up and it be a big thing. So I told her so she can know, so she can have the opportunity to leave. She chose to stay. So in the midst of all that, my husband and I was going through a bad situation. It was really bad. It was bad and it was emotional. I was a little emotional before I started talking with Ms. Sparks. That's why I informed her of the situation. So things got a little bit bad with he and I, and she kind of got frustrated about the situation, and she kind of pulled herself away. Me and her talked literally every single day. So I grew a connection with her. Like, we literally talked every single day, and she was there to talk with me through
Did you
the
meet
whole
in
situation.
person? Did you ever meet in person?
Yes, we met in person just one time
Okay.
before this situation. And that situation was kind of bizarre. Meeting her for the first time, it was bizarre. She was playing games. The day of this situation, my husband, he was pretty much being spiteful. He came home, he grabbed my daughter up, packed up all their stuff, and he left. He's from Florida.
Wait, back it up. All right, so your husband is actually, you and your husband are actually living in the same house while you're striking up a relationship with the defendant.
Yes. It was a mutual understanding between the both of us. Long story short,
what was he mad at then?
He cheated on me, and I wanted no more parts of it.
Okay.
I told him, I was like, I'm just ready to see other people. And he said, okay. But I guess when he saw that I was really moving on, he kind of got bitter about it.
Okay. So then what happens?
So he basically comes home one day, takes my daughter, Packs up all their stuff and he left. And I get a call an
How
hour
old is your
later.
daughter? Hold on. How old is your daughter?
She's 1. Yes, and he basically packs up their stuff and he leaves. I thought he was going to the store because I had texted him earlier to bring home some milk, and when he got home, he told me he didn't pick it up yet. So I assumed he was going to the store. But I got a call an hour later, him telling me he was leaving to Florida. I was devastated. Like I was completely devastated. Um, he works a 24-hour shift. And for you to work a 24-hour shift and come home and just take our daughter on a 10-hour trip by yourself, I was devastated. I was
Right.
not in the right state of mind. And I was still,
That's
I
a
was
lot
still
more
an
than a
emotional
10-hour
wreck.
trip. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, he told me it was 10 hours, but Florida is still far from North
Yeah, he's not. No, where in Florida? Florida's a very long state,
Panama
but even in
City.
the north of Panama City's pretty north. But from Boston, that's got from Massachusetts. That's much longer than 10 hours.
No,
But anyway, go ahead.
I'm from North Carolina. I'm from North Carolina.
Oh, okay. So did you travel to Massachusetts to file this case against her?
Yes, I did.
Why? Why didn't you just file it in
Because
North Carolina?
they wouldn't let me out. For some reason, I don't know, I was getting a runaround. So I just had to go to Boston. I spoke with several detectives here. They were gonna pursue criminal, but I didn't want to do that. So I just said civil. So I just went to
Okay, so
Boston.
let's back up. And so what happens? Your husband is being spiteful and does what that causes you to do what? Go ahead.
He basically runs off to Florida. And I'm basically devastated. So I text Latoya. I'm like, I can't believe he just ran off with Nyla. So she's texting me like, what? Are you serious? So at this point, I'm like, I'm going to go to Florida. I'm going to get my child. I have money. We have a joint account. We also have an account for my daughter. The joint account, I took out a portion of the joint account. I left a portion for him. I wanted to take my daughter's money because I built her account. I wanted to take her money.
So there was an account with some money that belonged to your daughter or that you had set up for your daughter?
The account that we're speaking of was an account I set up for my daughter. For my daughter has Down syndrome, so it was an account set up for her therapy and her medical expenses.
And so what did you do? You decided, and the account I take it had both you and your husband's name on it. You didn't want him to have access to it, so you wiped out the account?
The account that the government is in charge of is not linked to that account. That account was solely money from me. That came from my income taxes.
That's fine,
and
but
me
in
and my
any
husband.
event, the money belongs to your daughter. You wiped out that account and did what with the money? You sent it to her?
Yes, the agreement was for, like I told you, I was thinking about this now, got me like, what were you thinking? I was an emotional wreck. I text her, me and her were texting. I said, can you please do me a favor? A while ago, she gave me the idea about Zelle. I never knew anything about Zelle. She told me a while ago how it worked and that I can transfer some money to her.
What was the point of Zelling? Okay, Zelle is stop. Zelle is an app that you can use on your phone to immediately transfer money. I have a question for you, though, Ms. Gray, because I'm not understanding. What was your point? Your point was that your husband, you're in the middle of what's going to be a very contentious divorce, and you didn't want your husband to have access to the money. Why don't you just go to the bank and take the money out? Why are you selling it to? What are you nodding about? I'll be with you in just one moment. Why are you Zelling money, $2,000 of your Down syndrome baby that belongs for her welfare to a woman you met in a chat room the other day? Why don't you go to the bank and get the money and then you have it? Explain to me.
To be honest, right now, I was stupid. I was very stupid.
So you send her $1,900, and when you send it to her, do you tell her, listen, I need you to hold this money for me, for my daughter, because I don't want him to have it and all that stuff?
When I sent it to her, I just asked her, could she do me a favor? I would Zelle it to her, and can she Western Union it back to me? Can she send it back to me? She said yes.
How is she going to send it back to you?
She told me that she was going to Western Union it to me. Or her sister was going to Zelle it to my stepfather's account.
Why didn't you just Zelle it to your stepfather's account?
That came after. Like, after it was already sent, that's when she said she would Zelle it to his account. But the initial agreement was for her to Western Union it.
But you just met her.
I know.
It didn't turn out very well, did it? Because I can't help but notice that you're
No,
here
it
in my
didn't.
courtroom. So, you know, of all the things to do with the money, this was the worst. You might have set it on fire. That might have been worse, I guess. But so you send it to this person who you barely know, and she then doesn't return it to you, does she?
Nope.
And let me hear from you,
blame her.
Ms. Sparks. Exactly why, Ms. Sparks, didn't you return it?
For me, that wasn't the initial, there was no agreement. Whenever she gets mad or she wants to do something or I don't respond to her, that is her way of kind of like grasping me back in. Oh, here, I'll send you the money for your nails, or because she used to post stuff like that on Facebook. So there was really no initial agreement on sending the money back. I told her to go into the bank herself.
When you got the money, what was the point of you getting the money?
She said that her husband, she didn't want him to have the money, that he had already taken money out of the account. She didn't want him to have any more of the money. So she wanted to transfer all the money out of the account because she wanted to pick up with her daughter and leave.
Okay, but you were what was the agreement you had with her when she sent you the money? Were you supposed to send the money back?
No.
So you weren't supposed to send the money back. She's making that up.
No. Yep.
Is she making that up? Yes, she's making that up, you're saying, right?
Yes.
Come on. Okay. So I have some text between the two of you up on the screen. Can you please do me a favor? Please, 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 LaToya. I need to transfer this money to you and send it to me, please. To which you answer, if it's for Nyla, you know I have no problem doing that. So I don't know you asking me that. I don't know how to do it. All right, how are you sending it? Exactly what are you trying to do? I'm trying to get the rest of her money out of this account. I already cleared the joint. Oh, you cleared the joint. I need the rest of her money. So you tell her you transfer, just go to the app and click transfer and follow the steps. It won't let me transfer out of the account, only Zelle. I want everything gone so when he gets back, I can just grab Nyla and go. But I need her money too. You tell her to Zelle it to IT. Who's that?
My sister.
Okay. And then you tell her the number to text it to your sister. Mm-hmm. And then you say, my sister said she'll pull it out if you do it now, and I'll send it back Western Union. Then put it in your account and be done. Isn't that something? So according to you, it's your money and you don't have to give it back, and she was always buying your affection. But according to your texts, you're supposed to send it back.
Yeah, there was more conversation before that. Before all that, the messages you just read, there was more messages. There's a lot more messages before that.
Well, what does this one mean? The one I read, what does that mean? You know, the one where you say, send me the money and I'll Western Union it back to you. If it's for your daughter, I would never leave your daughter hanging. I would never steal money out of the mouth of your 1-year-old down baby, right? Like that's what you said. But what part of that am I taking out of context? Tell me. Because that's exactly what you did.
No, I didn't. Because she didn't tell me that money was for her baby when she first did it. She didn't say that was for the baby.
I'm sorry. Wait, just a second. You tell her to Zelle it to your sister, and in the same text, you say, my sister said she'll put it out. She'll pull it out if you do it now, and then I'll send it back to you, Western Union, and then you put it in your account and be done. You are telling her before the money comes that you understand that you're supposed to Western Union it back and that it's for her baby. Let's see. What part of that am I taking out of context? Because it's starting to look like you're just a piece of garbage who steals money from the mouth of a Downs baby, right?
Far from
That's
it.
kind of how it's looking.
Not at all.
You tell me how that's taken out of context. Good. How's
You're
that
taking it out of context because there's messages and there's phone conversations that we had in between those, and then there was supposed to be 2 transfers that was done. So the messages that you're reading, I'm not sure if that's the first or the second transfer, but there was more than one transfer that she wanted to transfer again.
Did you ever return any money that belonged to the baby? Did you return any money? Did Western Union any money from any of the transfers? Well, then I guess we're down one Western Union, ain't we?
I wasn't given any money for the baby, so that's why
How much money did you get from her?
$1,900.
Okay. And did you ever contact her sister and say, I need my money, I need my money?
I contacted her sister, but it wasn't under those circumstances. It was about the money, but not in that context.
Well, I don't know what you're saying. Did you ever try to get your money from the sister? I don't understand what you're saying.
I tried to get in contact with LaToya through the sister because LaToya would not respond to none of my calls, none of my messages. After I realized she basically ran off with the money. She would not respond to any of my calls, any of my text messages. So I decided to call the sister.
Oh, let's read this text. Let's see how I'm taking this one out of context. LaToya, I trust you because you actually show that you care for Nyla. I do not know your sister, so am I good to send this to her? And don't get mad from the question. I just got to know because I'm literally leaving and I need to make nice straight. To which you answer, my sister's not like that. She just gave me her card to go and pull it out. So if that's what you want to do, it's cool. I'm not going to let nobody burn no baby. What did you mean by that? Other than I'm not going to let nobody burn no baby. I think you meant you're not going to let your sister burn no baby. I'm not going to let nobody burn no baby. That's out the door. This is my mother's daughter. We have never fought or had any issues. It's good. At the end of the day, it's up to you. Just let me know. Okay. So what did I take out of context there?
I can't answer that for you. I don't know.
Well, you're telling her that not only will you send her a Western Union, but don't worry, she can trust your sister. Which turns out to be the case because apparently you speak to the sister and the sister says, I gave her that money right away, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
good idea
I'm sorry.
or bad idea to send $1,900 of your daughter's money to a woman you met in a chat room and don't know at all?
It was very.
What'd you do with the money, Miss Sparks?
I still have it.
That's good.
She unauthorized it, so she unauthorized it, and there was a little bit more to the story after that. So currently, accounts are blocked. My sister's account's blocked. My account's blocked. Anybody that was affiliated with.
Oh,
the
your
money being
sister must be so excited that you messed up her account when she was trying to do you a favor because you wouldn't return the baby money. Your sister must be so mad at you.
No.
That you messed all that up because everything will be unblocked. If you just return the money, it'll all get unblocked. But you still won't do it, and she has to sue you for it. Wow. Okay. So then why didn't you just file a lawsuit through the mail or through the computer? Why did you actually travel to Massachusetts to file the lawsuit?
The lady gave me the website. I went to the website, but for some reason, I couldn't open up the links. The links wouldn't work for me. So I tried with the lady, but it just wouldn't work.
What happened when you got to Massachusetts? Did you try to see the defendant?
I did. I wanted to speak because, like I said, I didn't want to pursue any type of charges against her. So I really wanted to talk to her, just to talk to her to get an understanding of why she did it. That's really all I needed. I just needed some type of closure. She basically told me she would meet me. But she never showed up. She gave me a bogus picture as if she was there. I get there and she wasn't there. Yeah, and pretty much laughed about it and then blocked me and told me good luck with my drive back home.
Wow. All right, so I am ruling in your favor, Ms. Antoinette, in the amount of the $1,900. I am not going to rule in your favor in the amount of money that you spent to go over there and see her, but I am going to rule in your favor in something you didn't even ask me for, which is punitive damages. And I'm going to order the defendant to pay you another $1,000 in punitive damages for a total of $2,900 plus your court costs. That's my verdict.
So the plaintiff is going to get $2,900. The judge has ordered. Ms. Sparks, you heard what the judge just said you've got to do. What are you thinking about it?
It's life. Things happen. There's nothing you can do about it. Thank you.
Antoinette?
I felt very stupid. I was very stupid. I was in a very vulnerable space. It was bad. I lost like 40 pounds in the process. It was very bad. I was in a very bad space in my mind, everything before I sent the money. So it wasn't just me freely sending it. I was just in a bad state of mind and I was stupid.
All right. Well, at least you're going to get $2,900 back. Congratulations. And I hope you don't do that again.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Let's see what the judges have to say about this case.
You sounded a little skeptical that the plaintiff, Antoinette, traveled to Massachusetts to file the lawsuit.
Yeah,
I
she
got the
didn't travel
impression
to
you think there was a little more going on right
Yeah,
there, right?
she admitted it. She goes, yeah, I just wanted to see her face to face. I needed closure and blah, 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 blah. She didn't go there file a lawsuit.
And don't even get me started on the defendant.
Oh,
I mean,
please.
my God.
There's a special place in hell for someone who steals
and it's
money
a
from
really
a baby.
hot place.
Yes. Yeah.
That's just.
She was kind of a jerk.
Oh, unbelievable. And hopefully Antoinette has learned her lesson.
No.
What's the old saying? A fool and his money are soon parted.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It was ridiculous.
Don't Zelle it to a stranger.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris wants to know this. Hey, Harvey, can a mortgage company foreclose on my in-laws' house during a pandemic? He's a retired lieutenant in the Army, and they are 93 and 94. Look, a lot of this depends on what the laws are in your state. The pandemic laws are varying wildly right now. There are moratoriums on foreclosures in some areas, not in others. You got to check the state. You could also, if push comes to shove, you go to court and you just plead for some kind of compassionate stay. But it really does depend on the law and maybe even the judge. That'll do it for this case. Litigants for the next case inside the courtroom.
This is the plaintiff, Cynthia Nieves. She says the defendant has her valuable gaming screen and won't give it back. The device is hers. She paid for it and is suing the defendant for the $743.74 she's owed. This is the defendant, Billy Joe Collins. She says she has no idea what this plaintiff is talking about because she doesn't have any gaming device and never saw a gaming device in her home and owes nothing. She's accused of playing dirty.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant stole her valuable gaming screen and won't give it back. But the defendant says she has no clue what the plaintiff is talking about because she has no such thing in her house and doesn't know anything about it. It's the case of playing dirty.
All righty, thank you. Okay, Ms. Nieves, you are suing for $743.74 because according to you, there is a gaming device that remains at Ms. Collins' house that she will not return to you. Tell me a little bit about the background, how it is that you know each other, and why you would have left a gaming device there.
Okay. Hi, Judge Milian. So I had myself and Ms. Collins actually worked together in a company for jewelry. And at the time, she was also, my friend is the other parent of her children. So I would go and visit. And when I was going and visiting...
Wait, who was your friend? She was your friend or he was your friend?
She was as well my friend because she brought me into the company.
But you were also friends with him?
Yes, we've been friends for over 25 years.
Okay, go on.
So I went in, I would go over the weekends and visit, and I would play video games with her children. And I honestly didn't want to inconvenience anybody with the video games, so I decided to get a gaming device. It's a screen where you could play portably. So I had it shipped, and I told him to hold on to it for me so that when I would go, I could just use the device. So that device was bought back. Wait,
but how? I'm kind of lost. I'm sorry. Are you living in a different city than they are?
Yes. I live in New York.
How far away do you live? Okay. And they live where?
Massachusetts.
Okay, so you were visiting so often that you bought a gaming device to have on that side.
Right. I was also in the process of moving because I was contemplating the move as well, and I had conversated that with her on a few occasions when we would talk on the phone. So I was in the process of doing that as well. Okay,
so you have it shipped where? To her house?
I had it shipped to his parents' house because I knew that they would be able to get it, and I knew someone would be home. So it was shipped to him.
So you have it shipped to the parents' house. And then it ends up at their house, right?
Yes.
Because you used it. Did you ever use it at their house?
I might have used it once or twice before some other issues happened between them, and he had to leave.
Oh, so he and she are no longer together. Ms. Collins, are you separated from your husband?
I am. We were never married.
Okay. Did you have kids together?
We did, 2.
All right.
2 boys.
All right. So now Ms. Nieves says that you have a gaming device and that it belongs to her and she would like you to give it back to her. What's your answer to that?
Well, first, I've never heard that she's left any gaming device at my house, nor has she ever played any gaming device at my residence. Also, ironically, when she sent the notice to the court to sue me, she never sent me notice, nor did she ever call me to even see if I had a gaming device. I had no knowledge that there was ever any agreement between her and my ex-boyfriend that he was going to house something for her as a favor.
Did she ever call you and say, can I have the gaming device back? Or she never did that?
Never. She never
Did
even
your
made
husband,
any attempt.
did your boyfriend do that? Did your boyfriend say,
Nope.
hey, where's the gaming device?
No, apparently he cut her out of his life as well, from what I understand. So I think
Do you know why?
This is, I really don't get into his business. I know he has a new girlfriend. There's kind of a background.
Wait, what do you mean new girlfriend? Do you think that she was your boyfriend's girlfriend?
I don't think. I know that Cynthia had relations with my ex, and I don't know if you saw the supporting documentation from her mother, which is a pretty disgusting rendition of what she thinks of her daughter. But needless to say, it's none of my business. I don't want to be involved in any of that.
Well, it's kind of your business. Wait a second. You think that he's a friend of that she's a friend of yours. You think she's just a friend of his, and they're carrying on while you are living with your boyfriend, correct? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Were you in a relationship with her boyfriend?
No, I was not. I was married at the time.
Okay. Ms. Collins, go on. What were you saying?
No, I also have emails from her husband who also reached out to me, and I would tell her not to come to my house anymore because she needed to resolve her marital problems with her husband and work on whatever relationship issues she had with her mom.
What was the husband emailing you? What was he telling you? That they were
same thing.
Stepping out?
Yeah, that she
Oh, my
was.
goodness.
She was. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
So
and,
her
I
mother
mean, I
and
felt
her
bad.
husband were telling you that. Is that the reason for the
Yes.
breakup between you and the father of your children?
No,
Well, there's always
we
more,
were together
but-
for we were together for 14 years, so we had our issues. Cynthia and I were not friends. She was actually friends with Jeremy at the time, and she kind of pulled the wool over me, trying to become friends with me to get closer to my boyfriend, who is now my ex. And I think she lived in somewhat of a fantasy world, thinking that they were going to ride off into the sunset when we broke up. And contemplating moving here. And then it didn't work out for her. He found a girlfriend who he's very happy with and cut her out of his life. So I believe that she's kind of has a claim to him and has some resentment. And I don't know if.
But she's not suing him. She's suing you. If she has resentment, she would sue him. Why is she suing you?
What I think is,
do you have the item in question?
I don't. And what I think is happening is he has the item and he's saying he doesn't have it. So therefore he's saying that I have it. So that's why she's suing me. So now of course I'm going to, do the research. So I go to the courthouse. Right, exactly, which I knew nothing about. So I go to the courthouse to get the supporting documents that Cynthia claimed was in the small claims notice, because she never sent me the certified copy, and she didn't.
So how did you find
me.
out you were getting sued even?
The court sends notice as well. Otherwise, I would have never even known.
Okay.
So I went down to the courthouse. I got the documentation. I checked the order number on Cynthia's receipt and through Walmart.com, and I noticed I sent in with my answer the supporting documentation. It says that she was refunded on November 9th. So I was like,
Okay,
well,
wait. Back it up. When did you and your boyfriend break up?
In November.
Before the 9th or after the 9th?
After the 9th. So it took her a year.
How do you find out? I'm sorry. How do you wait? How do you find out that there's been a refund on the order? Was it returned, or what was it that happened? I guess you went to the
When
courthouse, and so you see the order number, right?
Yes,
That she
if you
filed
look
with
at the
her lawsuit.
receipt,
Right.
If you look at Cynthia's receipt that she sent in with the small claims, you can see the order number. So I went on to Walmart.com and then I put in the order number, and then I saw on the order details, refund issued on Monday, November 4th. So I'm like, all right, well, why is she suing me for something that was refunded? So then I called
Can you
Walmart.
shed some light here, Ms. Nieves? Oh, you called Walmart, and what happened?
So I called Walmart and I said, yes, I have a order number here that says it's refunded. I just want to know why it was refunded. So she had indicated that the item was refunded Monday, November 4th, because the item was out of stock and was never shipped. So I'm like, okay, now I don't have a documentation for that conversation. So I did a chat on Walmart.com with the representative.
Oh, you're
so
good.
I could have
You're good. Pretending that you were her? Or what did you do?
Well,
You just get, oh, so let me see the
they didn't
chat.
ask.
I did check on the order. The item was refunded since the item was out of stock. Yes, indeedy. Ms. Nieves, talk to me. The receipt that you provided as support for an item that you say she owes you, I'm looking at the documentation, and according to Walmart, they never shipped it out to you, so you never had it, so you could have never brought it there, and they ended up refunding the money to your account.
No, they didn't refund the money to my account. They did ship it.
Well,
There was
according to
an
them, they
issue with
did.
the delivery, and they did ship it. What happened was I was gonna have to buy it again because of the fact
So
that they
did you
said,
buy it again?
yeah, and then I got the refund on the second
Oh,
one.
well, then why are you
But I
right,
ha-
well, the receipt you provided is for an item that got refunded. Do you have a second receipt for an item you bought that
No,
you
that
didn't
was
provide to
only
the court?
receipt that was sent it to me. I have
If
the
you bought
emails
two,
from Walmart.
lady, listen, Ms. Nieves, listen to what you just said. You just said to me, I bought the item and then I had to repurchase it. Okay, that means that they will be, because this one says refunded, which means you're done. You didn't get charged, and they refunded the item because they didn't have it in stock. So if you had to repurchase it, you should have some documentation from the internet to show a second purchase, which you did not attach to your lawsuit.
Well, that was the receipt that I had because that was the item that I got, and that was the FedEx tracking. But the device
Yeah,
wasn't
well,
a
it looks
possession
like you
because I
never were
gave
out any money, and you never played with the device because the device was never sent. Do you have any proof
It
the
was
device
sent
was even
because-
sent? I'm looking
Yeah,
at
I
them
have
refunding
the
your money.
tracking number.
Yeah,
I
that's
can
not
get
what
the
I'm
tracking
asking. I'm
number.
asking for proof that it was received by his parents. Do you have that?
Yeah, the tracking number, I would have to get it.
A
because
tracking
all I had
number
was the
isn't proof that
receipt.
something was received. You would have to click on the tracking number, track it, and
Right.
then have proof that it was received.
No, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
did you do
saying. I
that
would
before
have to get
trial?
the proof.
Yeah,
No, because
okay,
all I
well,
had
I'm in
was the
trial right now.
delivery, the receipt. But it was delivered. And
Okay,
it was
show me proof
played
it was
with
delivered.
there.
Ms. Nieves, no
getting
more
on it.
talking. Show me proof it was delivered. Okay, you could just do it on your phone and then hold it up.
I am. That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay, back up a little. All right, that says October 22nd, except that just says a FedEx package was delivered. And your
Well, that's
Walmart
the tracking
receipt,
number from the receipt.
okay, well, hold on. You may want to look into it because according to them on November 9th, they refunded you. Which is weird because she's got something that says on October 22nd it was delivered. Now, I don't know if that's for this package or for some other package. It says on November 9th they refunded you because it wasn't in stock. So that's not making sense. Why did both your husband and your mother write to her to tell her that you're up to no good with her boyfriend?
So my mother got misinformation from my husband at the time. My husband was not very supportive and he was not agreeable to me going over there. In the beginning, he was, and he was very supportive of the company. But when he started seeing that I was doing well and getting more into it, he was not very supportive. And we would get into little altercations over it.
Okay, so
sorry.
what
But my
what
mom and
evidence
I
do
are
you
good
have that
now.
ma'am, what evidence do you have that Ms. Collins has whatever item this is? You had it shipped to a different house, not hers, in the name of a different person, not her. So what evidence do you have that she has this item?
So So when she had him removed from the house on December 15th, he went with the police officer because he had to get escorted over there at the time. She wasn't there. She locked everything up in the room and was told him he could only take a few things. So when he got there and saw that he wasn't able to get the device, the police officer called Ms. Collins and said, we want the device. She said, I'm not giving it. It's mine. I paid for it. And then he told her on the phone.
How do you know any of this stuff? How do you know any of this stuff?
I was told this
Told
by
to you by whom?
her
Jeremy?
ex-boyfriend, because he was the one who
Okay,
had the
all right.
device.
That is what we call rank hearsay. Is Jeremy here to testify and tell me all this? No. Do you have an affidavit from Jeremy? No. And you're not suing Jeremy, right?
No.
Who you sent it to at his parents' house. Why aren't you suing Jeremy? Like, why are you believing Jeremy that she has it? Like, what evidence do you have that she has it other than pure hearsay? And
Because I
whose
did
hearsay?
say it in the house.
Potentially, the hearsay of who you say was cheating with her. I don't know if it's true or not true. I don't know why so many people think it's
Not
true.
true.
But either way, yeah, but you're completely out of gas. You cannot prove that she has this item. She denies
So I
she has
did
it.
play
You have
the
no
device
evidence she
at
has
her
it.
house.
The only evidence you have that Miss Collins has it is someone else told you so. That does not a lawsuit make. On your case
sorry, Your
against
Honor.
Miss Collins, I am no, stop. In your case against Miss Collins, I am ruling in favor of Miss Collins. Okay? That's my verdict.
The plaintiff who was suing the defendant obviously didn't prevail. Let's see what she thinks about it. Ms. Nieves, what do you have to say?
I didn't lie. The device was in her possession. One of her children tried to bring it out of the house and didn't, and she snatched it up. But, you know.
All right, well, that's it. You lose your case against her. Ms. Collins?
Well, I'm happy. I just feel disappointed that it had to come to this, and she has to put herself out there like this and make herself look bad, you know, and that's her own choice. So I wish her well and nothing but the best. And hopefully she'll move on with her life and leave me alone.
All right, that'll do it for this case. Let's see what the judges have to say about it now.
I believe it was an 18th century or 17th century English playwright who first wrote, "Hell hath no fury like a woman bereft of her gaming device," right? Anticipating the advent of gaming devices. But anyway, sometimes you get a claim that's 90% emotion and anger and baggage and maybe a tiny, tiny little bit of a nucleus of actual facts.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you had here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, her claim failed. The plaintiff's claim failed on so many different accounts.
She had no evidence. She couldn't prove that, you know, she had the device to begin with. It was all based on hearsay that her friend and or ex-boyfriend, whichever it might be,
Right.
had told her. And she didn't even have him here to testify, didn't have a statement from him, didn't have anything. So she has no idea what the thing is. She's just suing her because she's suing her, because someone told her she had it.
Yeah, there's not a lot of, I don't have a lot of confidence in exactly what transpired here, other than that there's a love triangle and there's a lot of baggage between these folks, and I understand that. But I got to tell you, Billy Joe, I mean, she gets it done. She penetrated the bureaucracy and got through the firewall at Walmart and got information that the average person probably couldn't have gotten.
She was very clever. She had the order number, and that was it. All she had to do was start emailing,
Right.
and there was no kind of weird that there was no verification process.
Okay, Sheila wants to know this. Hey, Harvey, since the People's Court gets small claims cases from different states, does Judge Millian have to look up the laws for each state, or are the laws all pretty much the same? No, the laws are actually very different depending on what the situation is. The judge does have a law clerk, Rusty Trusty Gabe, who has been around for a long time. Gabe was about 25, I think, when he started. I think he's 104 right now. But no, I mean, you have to look at the laws of each state, and the judge applies those laws depending on who comes into her courtroom. So it is very state specific, and that's the way we operate. See you next time.